If you're in a mature industry and you have a mature company, a well-developed company that's been doing business for a number of years, you know the world is changing, probably more rapidly than you actually realize, and the ability of your employees to actually adjust and adapt to this changing backdrop, this context where the world is moving fluidly and rapidly. We've got technology surrounding us, and you sit back in your most private moments and say, how should my company reinvent itself and adapt to this incredibly fast-paced world that we live in? You're going to love this interview. Don't go away. My third guest today on Wild Biz Weekly is a gentleman from Sioux City, Iowa, but the lessons that he has to share with us and the things we're going to tackle together here, this is not an easy interview. This is a very complex situation, but it's strategic. We talked before to Doreen Blakely about the importance of people. Now we're going to talk about strategy, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome a Vistage member here in the Omaha area, a great guy, coming from Sioux City today to be with you and talk about some very important issues, Mr. Doug Flom, ladies and gentlemen, right here from Sioux City. Hey, from Sioux City. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Thank you very much. Do you love these Creighton business students in the audience? Are they great?
Yes.
Yes. Now I know you have a lead. That's right.
I want to go back to college to get some more education if this is the quality.
This is the quality, and we've only begun, by the way. These folks have a lot more to bring to the party than you may even realize. My last meeting with them, I was just blown away as they analyzed, by the way, the WowBiz platform, the video platform, the potential. It's very interesting. But anyway, let's talk about Midwest Technologies up in Sioux City. This is a company that has been serving the educational market primarily for some time, right? And they sell essentially, they produce, manufacture, distribute, probably distribute mostly, shop equipment for classes in woodworking and metalworking and things like that to schools. Do I have it right?
Yes, right. It's called, depending upon the part of the country, it varies. Career technology education, industrial arts, vocational.
Good.
There's a whole range, and that's part of the identity problem that we have to market who we are to the universe.
Yeah, it's hard to even say who your customer is exactly. I remember industrial arts. No, that's a very interesting. I like that. I like that one. Well, anyway, so this company, and you're one of several people kind of run the company right up there in the Sioux City area, and they have national scope, right? Is that true? Okay, and how long has the company been in business?
Well, the company has been in business 100 years.
Oh my goodness!
And if you talk about adaptation and adjusting,
we
started out as a hardware business.
Okay.
Then we went into a distribution business, and then we went into a catalog business, and now we're into an internet business.
That's right.
So the leadership of the company over the years, it's family owned, has had to adapt and change.
Yeah.
And we are facing opportunities to grow even as we speak.
All right, fantastic. Well, what do you think is the next chapter? I mean, we've gone from a rural economy, and by the way, your company's roots would be in that rural agrarian economy, and then we moved into an industrial economy, right? Then we moved into a service economy, then we moved into an information-based and a digital economy, right? All these transitions. What's the next? What are your choices? What strategic choices do you have in front of you right now? And I'm going to present a couple more when you're done with this.
Okay. We are a niche education supplier. We aren't dealing with curriculum. We're not dealing with computers. We're dealing with supplies, equipment, and furniture for this segment of the education market.
Okay.
It is our
mostly high schools, by the way, right?
Well, middle school and high school.
Middle school and high school.
Some community college. We have 50 customers. Every state department of public education has different curriculum requirements, and as a result of that, they finance the acquisition and focus of these different programs to which we supply.
Yeah, that's tough because the money's coming from various sources, and sometimes an unreliable source, right? Unpredictable, right? Whether they're going to finance these programs or not.
Right.
All right, keep going.
Okay. We provide opportunities to purchase through a catalog. We still put out a Sears catalog.
Wow.
And that book, we have an aging population of teachers.
Yes.
That's how they purchased.
Really?
So that's a segment of the market that if we chose to ignore, it would be to our detriment.
Okay, all right. Because you know where I'm going. That's a cost savings right now. But we'll move on to another piece.
Right. So that catalog now is electronically available. It's a page turner. There are links to different suppliers and sources of information within that instrument.
Yes.
There are teachers that now require us, or rather administration officials,
Yes.
require us to provide a digital database to them of our products so they can pre-select from those.
Of course, that's normal.
So we flipped.
In this day and age.
Right. We had hoped that they would look at our database and buy based upon how we chose to organize it.
Oh, no, it's about them, not you. You know that, right?
I understand that, but we're very disciplined.
Yes.
We provide information that allow a teacher, an instructor, a purchasing agent to make
Yes.
an intelligent choice.
Right.
And that's part of our value-added proposition. And that's part of the difficulty of being a distributor, because if it's price,
Yeah.
then we're out of business because the big boxes on price can beat us.
Absolutely. You don't want to play the price game. You never do. So now you have to reinvent yourself. Now let me ask you a question, because we're wrapping up here, and I love the background, but I got one key question. If your niche market that you're serving is, kind of getting smaller or stale or, not really growing, right? How do you do that? Is there any possibility that you could move into adjacent? In other words, make the pie itself bigger as opposed to clinging to a share of the existing pie. Does that make sense? How would you do that? Sell computers to schools? Sell service or information to schools?
Well, we developed a curriculum program, and that is something that we manufactured. We went to a university, developed the curriculum.
Yeah.
And the story is that eventually became too expensive for us to be able to maintain and update because Windows changed the architecture of its software,
Yeah.
and the education market was left holding the bag when Windows 98 went out of business. So we are afraid of trying to venture into that to that extent.
I understand. And fear is a huge issue, and when it spreads throughout a culture, and the money's still coming in, it's really difficult to make a change. Doug Flom, I tell you, from Midwest Technology, it's a pleasure to have you down here from Sioux City. I find this fascinating because, not just because it's your individual situation, but this is how the world is today. We're all struggling with similar issues. And very interestingly, of course, manufacturing is enjoying a rebound. There's a new emphasis on that. And the skills that you teach with your equipment and your supplies ultimately help people prepare and go into a career, right, in the manufacturing sector. I think you're more relevant than you even believe you are, but go ahead.
Well, we're putting a great deal of emphasis on recognizing that the service industry can't be exported overseas.
Yes.
Okay? The construction trades cannot be, they can't build a house over there and ship it back and reassemble it.
Exactly right.
There are jobs, and there's a future in the education universe for us and for those kinds of activities.
And the world has never looked more carefully and closely, and by the way, critically, at the education sector and their failures in certain respects. I think you're poised. I think you're at the tipping point, and I can't wait to have you back in a year and see what actually happens. Doug Flom right here with Midwest Technologies in Sioux City. Do you love it? Thank you for coming, my friend. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Been a great show. We'll be right back with a brand new show, Wilders Weekly. Don't go away. Thanks a lot.